Hey, what's up, friends? Ray with Doc 10 Works. How y'all doing? So, what I'm doing today is I'm seasoning my pit. I kind of let it go for 2 years without oiling it again, and the firebox is starting to rust and all that good stuff. So, I scraped a good chunk of the creosote out of the cooking chamber, not all of it, but I got a good decent amount off, and now I am seasoning the pit with cooking oil. I go easy. I just used the PAM, or I got a generic one. It was like $1 cheaper, and I just spray it on. All you need is an oil and to get it up to temperature and for it to polymerize. A lot of guys will go picky on what type of oil they use and they hand apply it and all that. Not this guy. So what I got here is Meyer. It's a local grocery market up here in Michigan, and it's a PAM knockoff, right? So it's just an aerosol oil. It's easy to use, and soybean oil, why not? And I just spray it on. I just spray it on the pit, and then I get a fire going. As you can see, my firebox is oxidized quite a bit more compared to my cooking chamber. And you just spray this stuff on pretty heavy. Try and get a fire going hotter than you normally would. This one's not hot enough. I just started it. Hopefully it'll pick up here in a minute. See, I got most of the flaky creosote and stuff off the lid and off the back of the cooking chamber. There was actually a bunch packed into my stack, and that was pretty nasty. Don't forget the bottom. You know, you got to oil the bottom too. Oil that side of the cooking chamber. And we'll get this thing stoked up a little bit more. Let it breathe some. So this is just red oak. I just chalked it full. And so what I'm going to do later is I'm going to do a meatloaf. So in like probably about 2 hours, when these coals cook down and the chamber gets cooler and everything settles down, then I'll have a nice bed of coals to smoke a meatloaf later on tonight. So as you can see, it's chock full of wood. We want to get that thing cooking pretty good. The cook chamber, or I mean the firebox, is already starting to polymerize, and what happens is, you know, the oil just gets to its smoking point and cooks off, and then it leaves an almost enamel type shell on it. It's kind of cool the way it works, and I think it chemically bonds with the pores in the metal and all that good stuff. Because my cook chamber, this pit's 3 years old. My cook chamber doesn't really have a lick of rust on it. You know, I seasoned it the initial year and everything was good to go. It's the firebox where you got to really maintain them and keep them going. So now that the fire breathed, I don't know, took a big breath and got going a little bit faster, we'll toss this down and see how she does again. So hopefully now it's stoked up a little bit more and we can get it hotter over in the cooking chamber. So let's see, it's already climbing. It's getting up to 350. I would like it up into the 400s, the cooking chamber, so that, you know, the exhaust, the stack can get cooked and everything else. But you know, you can kind of see the firebox is smoking off. So then what I'll do is, because that's the place that needs it the most, is I'll just make sure that it gets a nice good coat of oil. And I'll keep reapplying it here on the firebox, because that's the place that's going to get the most heat, and it's actually going to benefit the most because it needs it the most. So yeah, you can see it really kind of smokes and looks kind of cool. It looked like it was taking some of the rust off with it. So like I said, don't forget down here, some of these often overlooked spots. You know, the front of your cooking chamber is going to get the most heat. You know, if your spray catches fire, then you just take your finger off the trigger. Don't let it backfeed up into the nozzle. Playing with fire don't have to be dangerous. It can still be fun. All right, so I got the door closed, and now this thing's really cooking pretty good. So you can see the oil cooking off here, and now it's starting to cook off on the cook chamber too. Cook chamber's got up over 400, so, and it's running nice and clean. The fire's good. This will be a nice protective coat on the pit. Now we're cooking with fire. Sorry, I'm huffing and puffing. One of my racks of wood fell over and I just restacked it, but she's pegged out at over 500 now. Well, so now even the cook chamber's smoking and cooking. The firebox has done its thing. All the oil's pretty much cooked off of it. And so then, like I said, once all this stuff burns down, I'll have myself a nice cooking fire for that meatloaf coming on later tonight. But it's going to take probably an hour, 2 hours for this to cook down into coals, and then for the cook chamber to cool down. So we'll be back. That's cherry and hickory. This is a lot of oak, hickory, and cherry, and that's white oak and hickory. That's the stack that fell over, and I still didn't stack it very good. It's leaning to that side. I'll be picking it up again. All right, friends, so that's what I'm getting up to. Sorry I haven't been posting on this channel that often. It's been a long, rough winter. I haven't cut much wood. I haven't done, you know, any splitting or hauls off or much with my chainsaws, but as now the weather's increasing and getting better, I hope to start stoking this channel up a little bit more, maybe do some barbecue videos, make another batch of charcoal, all that good fun stuff. I got them 2 Chinese clone saws that I need to put through the works too, so stick around and we'll try and keep this channel alive. Thanks, friends.